go to the above bench and hit the live button. Okay, welcome back. Little after hours. Little after hours on the agenda. I don't even know what number. I couldn't tell you, honestly. But I had a project for today, a nice little project that we're gonna have to do another day, because ultimately it can't be done the way I wanted to do it. So let's see, can I get the repair screen up? We're probably going to have to detect a display. Okay, so let's we want to duplicate. Let's try that. Keep the changes. And we got a goofy scale factor. So now if we come over here, let's do it on the air. Deactivate, activate. And what do you know? Alright, people, we do indeed one final little bit of icing on the cake, the cherry on top. I'm going to go ahead and get my wireless keyboard so I don't have to keep running over to the KVM to do some control on this computer that's plugged into the repair screen. Are the batteries strong enough to reach? Okay, so we can see it. Good deal. That's all I need to know. Alright. After hours. Concerning this guy here. But first, while you check that out, I'm going to make a pot of coffee. Ooh, live stream health, it says it's good, but hey, who am I to judge? I shared this out on Facebook. Hopefully somebody will come and watch. If you do, I do have my, as is evidenced here, I do have my YouTube screen up. I'm waiting on it to refresh. Streaming down, you know, with it coming down, the video, my stream coming back to me while I'm uploading while at the same time downloading, upstream and downstream at the same time, may be a little tough. So yeah, I do have that up. If anybody throws anything in the comments, any questions now, well, not right now. Now's not the time to ask. But you can ask, and I will see it. I will be checking on it. So let me do this. We're gonna expedite this coffee as quick as possible, so I can get into the repair I wanted to do versus the repair I'm going to do, which isn't really a repair, it's an upgrade. And if my mic's cutting out, sorry, let me turn it off for one moment. microphone should be back on now. Yes, we're still live. I do apologize. If I had a filmer, I could have, not that it's interesting, but why not? I'll make a pot of coffee on YouTube, Facebook. Sure. Never done it before, but we can do that sometime. Pot of coffee on the internet. Alright, yeah, that would be boring. That would be quite boring. Somehow coffee, making a pot of coffee. Don't compare. It don't actually compare to repairing something, making something, making something useful. Although coffee is useful for waking up. Alright. Cone filter in. Getting the donut shop out. Few scoops of this, few scoops of that. Let's see what we get. Alright, 1, 2, and a half. Alright, I'm gonna say that's 3. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dump the rest of this bag in. Kinda weak. Let's we have another brand donut shop here. Somehow I just to the New England coffee, but in the same light, it is good donut shop coffee. So we'll go with 4 scoops since we had to mix and match. And I think we got about another 2 scoops of this off-brand donut shop in here. It's time, people, to bring more coffee. Can somebody recommend some coffee? What coffee flavors, or coffee brand flavor? Dark roast, medium, light roast. What roast do you like? What coffee brand name? Throw something up there for me to try. Even the link on YouTube. Or yeah, even the link on Facebook. If you leave comments there, I will eventually check that. Okay, so and we're back again. So the repair I had intended to do, since we have the repair screen up, is the computer you see here has Windows 10 on it, and this person in particular has a program, and maybe somebody can tell where the problem is here. Let's see if we can find this. Oh wow, yeah, no, let's go. Wow, it's like I highlighted something. Controlling crazy stuff. Okay. AutoCAD 2002. Apologies about the all-in-one in the way here. This is a tall all-in-one. I mean, check it out. This is a legit tall all-in-one. Okay, now we're back. AutoCAD 2002. 16? 19 minus 2 would be 7, so 17 years officially if you're counting in the second day of 2019. 17 years older than the version of Windows that it's running on, this AutoCAD. Now allegedly, the guy that owns the computer said that AutoCAD 2002 does indeed work on Windows 7, and if he does, the plan was to take and go in here, go in our updates and security, and go to recovery, and then go back to Windows 7, And this was just upgraded last week, so it hasn't been the full 10 days. But we can't go back to Windows 7 from 10. So, I think what happened, the upgrade from 7 to 10, he had the activated Windows 10, and then it did a feature update to Windows 10 1809. I think that took the old Windows 7 backup partition out. There's no way to get it back that I know of. I suppose I could try running Recuva or some other data recovery software to try and find that Windows.old folder. More work than it's worth at the current time. So what we're going to do, and not today, this would probably be a better project for a longer stream on another day, if at all, because it is going to take a while. I think the better idea is we're going to do a data backup on this, get all this data, wipe it, reload Windows 7, and make a virtual disk image of that Windows 7 install with all his data and software. The data we don't actually need, just the AutoCAD software and the files associated with that. Make the virtual disk image of it, load up VirtualBox, have VirtualBox load so he can run his AutoCAD, and then that would be done after we upgrade back to Windows 10. So we're at 10, we got to go back to 7, get AutoCAD installed, create a virtual disk image, upgrade back to 10. Install VirtualBox, load up the VM for AutoCAD, because 17-year-old software is not going to work too good on Windows 10. You get a massive error. I don't think Autodesk is going to update it, so that was what I intended to do today, till I went in and just double checked to see if we could roll back to Windows 7, and indeed we can't. So that being said, yeah, sorry, the green screen's still up. There's no way to actually center the photos and get them all good. It's just a little slideshow running. The task at hand, the amazing Acer all-in-one. Alright, let's move this temporarily out of the way, and just so you can get the gist of how big this thing is. There you have it. This Acer all-in-one that typically sits, and you can't see it, but sits over, well, I guess you could. It sits right here in this spot. Is that coffee brewing? It is. Alright. It typically sits in that spot over there. However, it only got a 1 terabyte hard drive in it. I'm going to take and pull out the optical drive. We're going to pull the optical drive out, and if I'm not mistaken, the age of this, that optical drive is going to be for this OptiBay adapter that we rarely use now, because it is for one of the older laptops, like the old Inspiron, not the 1545s, but like the old Dell Inspiron, the Inspirons, or the old XPSs, the big thick suitcasey ones that have the full thickness DVD burner, CD burner in them. We rarely use this, and I think this is going to be the same thickness of ROM that is indeed in this all-in-one. If not, we have a few other sizes of OptiBay. So we're going to have our boot drive, which is a terabyte. We're going to throw another either 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive in to the OptiBay. If at all possible, I doubt in this all-in-one there's going to be 3 SATA ports, but if there happens to be either 3 or even 4, which would be nice, most likely not, we'd find a way somewhere inside to stick an SSD, migrate from the 1 terabyte over to the SSD, then have a 1 terabyte for storage, and then another 1 or 2 for storage here. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to stick with the terabyte because of lack of SATA ports. So let's go ahead. We will get a little bit of screen protection laid out here. And let's flop our all-in-one up here for a moment. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's gonna come off easy enough. We will go ahead and set this on the counter. And let's get our removal tool for this. Boy, that didn't click in real awesome at all. No. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can indeed get this leg off of here. I don't see it coming off this easy, but you know, maybe. Yeah, okay, yeah. It did slack up, so there we go. Any luck, it's going to pop right out, and we'll peel the back off and see what we're working with. Alright, yes, right off. We will put these here. Alright, now on this particular Acer all-in-one, we've got 3 screws across the bottom, and I'm not sure, I think I may have opened this up on camera at some other point. If I did and this is super boring, sorry. Video is unavailable. So it says the live stream health is good, but my video is unavailable. What? So we're still streaming out? It says I'm on the air. And OBS definitely did not crash. It's welcoming me back. Okay, so it says the stream health is good. However, I'm going to go ahead and close that. That way the stream health does indeed stay good. I don't really have any way to monitor unless I pull it up somewhere else. So, let's do that. Get this other remaining screw out. 1, 2, one more, and then we will go get a cup of coffee. A bummer about Windows 7 not being able to roll back to Windows 7 over on this desktop over here. So yes, when you first upgrade to 10, you used to be able to go back for 30 days, and then they changed it to 10 days that you could go back. But if within that 10 days you upgrade from Windows 7 to 10 with an upgrade, you have 10 days to go from Windows 10 back to 7. But if within that 10 days you get a feature update from the version of Windows 10 that you installed to a newer version of Windows 10, be warned that it is going to take out your option of rolling back to Windows 7. Because I do believe max we had 3 days on this desktop over here. You can kind of see the blue light of the fan here. I believe we had 3 days from the time we upgraded from Windows 7 to 10. 5 days max. 100% I know 3 days was the minimum, but if there was more than that, I'm not thinking about correctly, 5 max. And we have no option to go back, so we got to do the data backup and reload option, which, although more of a pain, is definitely doable. Okay, we've got our back panel off. Let's go get this coffee. Hopefully this stream doesn't drag on for too long. Got I've got the princess to go get here in a little bit. I'm picking her up. She's coming back home for a little bit, so brother and sister will get to play. Maybe Maybe Megs and Rye can get their cameras out and shoot some photos. Who knows? We'll see what the fam gets into tonight. Whatever you're drinking, have one. Alright, so we gotta do a little bit of teardown on this thing to see what's going on. And it's nice, this Acer, that the continuity with the screws, the symmetry with the not symmetry. That's the same on both sides. The continuity would be good because they're continuing the same theme, the same build process throughout with screws. Typically, HPs and Dells, they're all-in-ones. You get them, and you're gonna get who knows what on the foot. Torx, some kind of Torx security bit, a Phillips, Allen head, square head. You pull the leg off the back, then you open it up, and you got a mixture of different screws inside. No, not Acer. So definitely being easy on us here with this one. Get the magnet out so we can fetch these screws. Not all of them will come out easy, but hopefully we'll get them out easy enough. No, yes, no. Alright, and one more. What do we got up here? I don't even think, okay, that one, you know what? That one wasn't even in. I believe it was these ones here that were holding that. I don't even need to open this up to do the optical drives swapped over to a hard drive with an OptiBed adapter, but I do want to get into where wow. So I just totally, there we got it. Totally lost that screw, I thought. We're going to take one screw. Missed the one obvious right in front of my face on top here. I'm looking on the sides, the ends underneath. I think we're going to put the one back in down there because we don't actually need it out right now. So let's find one of these. They're all the same. We're going to go ahead and put it back in. Okay. I was hopeful. I was really hopeful, but no such luck, man. No such luck. We've got 2 and 2 only SATA ports. Now, could we find some other way, possibly, to get another SATA port coming off of this motherboard? I don't know if they make mini PCI to SATA adapters. Let's look it up. We'll answer our own question right now. What was that? Mini PCIe? Mini PCIe to SATA port. Did they do it? Did they actually? Okay. So, low profile ready, SATA Mini PCI Express, half size, 2-port SATA 3. So it's a RAID controller. This one is, that looks like a full-size card. Non-RAID. Okay, so let's dream a little bit. Since this all-in-one here, since our all-in-one is kind of like our shop, our little shop rat, our workhorse for doing, you know, data backups, data recoveries, and also kind of like a server storing some of our files or documents and data and other things. Let's dream a little. Ideally, excuse me, ideally we could use an off-to-bay adapter that's going to fit there, whether it's the right thickness or not, I don't know yet. I might need one that's a little thinner. I think I do need the next size down. So we have an off-to-bay adapter that's going to fit in there that will hold one 2.5-inch hard drive. Uses up one port. We take out the big 3.5-inch drive and get an adapter for a 3.5-inch to 2.5-inch that holds two hard drives, which would look something like, let's pull up another tab. To dual 2.5. Yeah. Oh, maybe not that one. We can get it there. Shop. Let's shop for it. Okay. Right there. That will adapt 3.5-inch to two 2.5-inch. So the size of this hard drive down to two. The size of this hard drive down to two of these. So that a plastic or metal, whichever it is. So we'd have one drive in the off-to-bay, two in here, three drives total. We'd have 1, 2, 3 ports. But if we could find one of these Wi-Fi mini PCI Express to dual but non-RAID, you know, could we get one that's dual? Excuse me. That adapter card, yeah. No. 2-port mini PCI to SATA 3 controller. AS Media. Let's see. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so there's two there. So with the two on that chip, even though we don't take a full-size card. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's no way to tie, at least in our system here, there's no way to tie down a full-size card, and you would run into this plug here. So we would have to stick with the mini. Let's go ahead and shop around for a mini. Like that. That's perfect, but we don't need a RAID controller. Can you use it in non-RAID? That's my question. SATA RAID. What are the specs? Do we have to RAID it? So it does the 1.5, 3.0, and 6 gigabit per second. Native command queue, port multiplier, command-based switching, RAID 0, RAID 1, and span. Okay. So something like that may work. And what it says to me is if they make a small one with 2 SATA ports and it RAID, they could probably make a small one with 2 SATA ports that's not RAID. That sounds logical. So let's look at let's look at our computer again. Off-to-bay is 1, 2 with the 3.5 to dual 2.5, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, one port on the one that has 2 here. We still have another port, and possibly we run some cabling over here and stick down an SSD somewhere, maybe to the bottom of the off-to-bay adapter. Or let's look here. Okay, so no way to come in on the sides. Could you fit 2 screws? One way? No, not gonna happen. So yeah, we'll just double stick tape an SSD boot drive to the bottom of this when it's in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could get 4 drives in this system. The only problem I see other than the SATA ports is the SATA power. And I don't think this board, at least, is designed for any more power than what it's got. It's got it here. It has some power coming out here for one drive, and over here for another drive for the SATA mini power. Could we double this? Could we take and just use a straight SATA cable and a non-dock style cable? Just a straight SATA, and then make a power cable using this end, recycle, and put two on it and power two 2.5-inch drives, low power ones, or even two SSDs. They would be even low power. Future upgrades. Can we make this computer? It was great, but can we make it greater than it was? I don't know. We'll check it out on down the road. Anyhow, wrong size off the bay adapter. We're going to go ahead and pull out our optical drive. And go ahead and work on getting our optical bay in. Okay, so I was wrong 100%. This is a super thin drive. It's just got a gigantic fat door on it. Look at the size of that DVD burner door compared to the actual drive there. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Alright. So yeah, concerning this, I don't know if we could double up and run power from one 3.5-inch, chop the end, put some actual SATA ports on, or just make a whole new one. Put two SATA power, and then we'd have our SATA data from here, another SATA data from here for an SSD. We'd still be left with fund and one further place to pull power from. And are these ports created equal? This one with this power here? No, I think not. Turning this into 3 power leads is definitely not an option. Is that really? Oh, it does shake if I bump it. Turning this into 3 power leads, 2 for here, and then 1 for whatever we put over here, not likely. So how about we just turn this into 2 SSDs, and then a boot drive. I think that's more easily doable. I don't want to go and get the multimeter out and test for points of power all over the board. Besides, the other problem you run into when trying to modify something like this, and you're pulling power from anywhere you can find power on the motherboard, you're going to need your 12 volt, your 5 volt, and your 3.3 volt, plus a ground to pull a whole new power feed for a SATA hard drive, or even an SSD. The problem with that is the board wasn't designed for it. You're probably going to overload some capacitors or fuses and be without a motherboard for your all-in-one computer. So, don't think we're going to risk it adding more power. I think we'll just go with the 2 drives, but it's nice dreaming. Nice trying to see, can you do it? Can you upgrade it? Yes, you probably could. You could probably get away with turning this into 2 power leads if they're SSDs or like super low power economy 2.5-inch drives. I would be more inclined to trust the SSDs. They're lower power. 2 SATA. And then you just need a mini PCI Express to single SATA. Alright, we gotta pull our door off of here and figure out which one of these it will fit on. Which one do we want to keep? I think the one... Well, that's the one with the adapter. That's the one with the screws. This one. This one is just a little bit thicker than the ROM. We may have to go with this one if it's... Yeah, that's right about right where we need it. So, we have that open. Yeah, we'll open it back up. Let's get these lined up and move this. Dang, we're gonna need a small screw on this one. A tiny Phillips. Go there. Let me put you guys down here a little closer, a little more in the action. You can stand right there, okay? Like I don't think you'll be in the way where I'll actually bump into you, or knock you around any if you stand right there. So. And is it risky? Am I taking out a perfectly good DVD burner? Yes, it's perfectly good. Risky? Pulling it out of the computer, this DVD burner, removing it to install hard drive in an OptiBay? Well, some people use DVDs, CDs, rely on it a lot. But nowadays with the speeds of the internet and what you could download, upload at, you can usually find a digital file of the file you would have on physical media. So if we're putting that in, we will want that there. All right. Can we pick these up? Ooh, they are magnetic. All right. One thing to be happy about for today. Magnetic steel screws. One thing I saw somebody fall for. You know what though? I'm almost positive these don't thread that. Whatever, it went in. One thing I saw somebody fall for when I worked another job. This is back in my days of roofing and doing siding and windows, mainly roofing, but siding and windows. And this is toward the end of the job when we were cleaning up. And they yelled at the one kid that he was just on helping us for the summer. Actually, I saw this at 2 different jobs doing the same type of construction-y type work. Ned hollered at this, not yelled at him, but like, you know, hollered over to him to get his attention, like, hey, we gotta clean that up. Go get the aluminum magnet. No, I don't know if it's possible anywhere in the whole universe, but at least in Pennsylvania that I know of, there are no aluminum magnets. But he was looking in the tool trailer for the aluminum magnet. As far as I know, aluminum is not magnetic, but I could be wrong. I am not points of physics in the way things work throughout the universe. Aluminum in central PA, definitely not magnetic. But yeah, that kid, he must have looked for, they let him go for a good 10-15 minutes. They didn't want to waste too much time on the job site. I'd say a good 10-15 minutes, they let him look for that aluminum magnet. No, it took it a couple steps further, like, oh, what's the matter? You can't find it? Oh, I found this one on wheels, but regular steel nails are sticking to it. The roofing nails won't stick to it. I tried. Yeah, everybody got a chuckle out of it. Then we had to inform them there was no aluminum magnet. It was funny, a lot funnier then compared to, you know, now. Definitely much funnier. Poor guy, anyhow. The aluminum magnet. Oh. Alright, let's go above. We can get a little bit of my table where I'm going to make a good attempt at popping this ROM door off without breaking any of the tabs that click it in place. I do hate doing these things. It's one thing I do not like is removing the door on these optical ROMs. It is 6:15, so am I going to get this done before it's time to go? Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope. If not, we'll cut it off and maybe I'll come back later. Okay, that's one. Two, and if I get one on the end and one of the middle ones unsnapped, yes, it will just unclip the end. Now, let's go ahead and get our right on almost anything marker. We'll put it on the label here, I think. And that this is the Acer all-in-one. Acer all-in-one, let's write it on here too, just to test it. Alright, good stuff. That part's done. We will gonna get an anti-static bag, a box, and box this up in case we ever want to switch back to the ROM. Now let's see, will this door fit this Opta bay, or are we gonna be stuck going with the other one? Because they do have slightly different layouts for where stuff clips in. If it'll fit, awesome. If it won't, well, sorry, man. And I think luck may be on our side. I think it's gonna go in and be okay. Does the door line up is my question. That was not always a happening thing. SATA port lines up, the mount lines up, and how many screws am I going to dump? Just the one. Also, not bad alignment on the door. So there's that. Let's go ahead, clean up our space a little bit. We'll get these other two Opta bay adapters out here that we do not use. The one we will throw a friend of the shop, friend of the live stream, the podcast, all of it. We'll just say a friend. This hard drive back into storage in the one Opta bay adapter. And damn it, Bobby. Alright, so let's get this back out. Now we're gonna hunt for our 1 terabyte that we're gonna stash some of our stuff on in with, under, just name it. Do we need the terabyte? What do we got here? We got a 750 and a 320, which means, and that stuff's there. There is a 1 terabyte, but where is it? Where do you go? One TB drive? You have a nice label on you, and there you are. Alright, real quick, we're going to find out what data is on this. What data is on the 1 terabyte? And since the all-in-one's not up, we'll go over here and check on the boss man's computer and see what's on this 1 terabyte. It should be a fairly clean drive. Okay, we have one person's data. Go for properties. How much we talking here, people? Alright, 3 gigs and counting. 12, 14, 16, 17, 20, 30, 41.1 gigabytes worth of data. 41.1. You know what? We do not even need to move the data. We don't need to move the data at all because it's going to be a storage drive, and that's how it's formatted now. It's just, instead of plugging a SATA to USB cable in, we're doing SATA to optical SATA. Alright, we got 10 minutes. We got to head out. I will let the people know. There are screws in there. Well, okay. Wind them in quick. Let them know that Rally's ride is going to get her. Alright. Real quick, we need a smaller thread, Phillips. Our hard drive is plugged into the SATA port. We're going to go ahead and wind these screws in to hold this in place. That way it doesn't unclip. Not that one of these should unclip, being in an all-in-one computer that's stationary, not like a laptop being jostled about. Okay, there's that one. And that one, let's wind down these other ones a little further. Alright, they all have some tension on them, so that's pretty well plugged in. Alright, zoom it back in for food. Do you guys like the zoom or the right? Because the right is not as much glare as the zoomed in, or the above zoomed in. Right, I kind of like the right. There's not as much glare. So, got this in. Go ahead and put it back together. Put our SATA port in. Or our mounting screw in. It's the only thing that's not lining up perfect. So the OptiBay is a slightly different length. There it went. I'm talking like maybe not even a millimeter different. Okay, the door's on. No longer opens when you hit the button when it's on though, but it's there to look good. Hard drive's in, tightened down, locked down. Plug our boot drive back in. Does not look dirty at all. Oh, that's right, I cleaned this one out. Ha! Okay. Let's get her back together before we gotta run out of this place. Was that an over? And this was beside? Yes, it was. Okay. Screw goes down. Okay, one. Two. We'll go for three and then tighten them all down. 1, 2, 3, 4, tighten down. Okay. Let's think about this. We have the 1s, 1, 2, 3, 4 that mount the leg on, then the 3 across the bottom. This piece is back in. Let's drop this on. Sorry for shaking the steady cam. We'll take it to the above view. Let's set these here. And if you don't have any use for, I mean, maybe you think you have a use for DVDs and CDs, but most of the stuff you can get digitally, like movies and music, driver files for, you know, new devices that you add to a system, even software nowadays, games even, is all available in a digital form versus a disc. I stopped keeping a DVD burner in my computer, as far as my laptop goes, years ago. I have one in my tower at home because I have the room, but in something like an all-in-one or a laptop where you're limited with, you know, expandability because of either your power rails or your available SATA ports or both, or even space. I've seen 4 SATA ports inside of an all-in-one that happened to use a desktop motherboard, and it had like a small form factor power supply in the all-in-one. So it had SATA ports, it had extra SATA power, but no space whatsoever because they crammed a desktop motherboard and small form factor power supply inside the case. There was no room whatsoever to put any hard drives anywhere, and it ran on a 2.5-inch hard drive as it was. So yeah, not likely to happen in that one. But there was definitely the power for it, the power rails coming off the power supply, and I know this came out of here one way, and I'm very inclined to think that it was the wrong way that it came out because these little teeth here were not clipped in at all. And that's that. Let's get a screw in and then to hold it, and we'll put the last couple in. Okay, we got 1 down, 3 to go. And the Acer all-in-one is back together now. Is it going to boot? Did I bump anything? Not plug anything back in? What did I break? What did I break? All right. One, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 tied down. 3 across the bottom. Should be tight. Yes. All right. And our big Acer all-in-one is back together. We now have roughly, minus the 41.1 or 41.4, whatever it was, 41.1 gigabytes already on the hard drive. We have the rest of 980 some gigs minus the 409, 930 some gigs left to store stuff. So let's go ahead and pick up some of our adapters. Alright, we have the network cable, and this is what I said why we could take out the Wi-Fi card and put in a mini PCI Express to SATA, because we use absolutely 0 Wi-Fi. We're hardwired in with this guy. So real quick, okay, that one's our USB 3. Go ahead, get it plugged in. Our 2 USB 2 drives, which, I mean, we got terabytes there, some external storage, but it is just, it's horrible. It's USB 2. And when you're dealing with gigabytes and the amount of data and stuff that people store today with these, you know, cameras that take high resolution pictures, and if I didn't have my mic on, I apologize. I was sure that I did. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that our computer, our all-in-one Acer, is gonna boot real quick. It looks as though it is. Indeed. Alright. Successful job. It is now 6:30 on the dot. Time to go pick up my Princess. Here, we'll give people, there's a view to check out. I know it's tilted, but hey, there's the all-in-one booting over there. Hey, what do you want? What do you expect? We're running off a 3.5 inch mechanical drive. It don't have near the speed of an SSD, but we'll at least let it get up to the desktop. Or not the desktop, the sign-in screen. We'll go ahead and sign it in. That'll probably take another minute. In the meantime, oh, y'all can see, look, I told you. It is definitely a green screen. Now let me switch. See? Green screen. Alright, and we are at some kind of sign-in screen. Go up. Let me give you a password. And on through to the desktop. Is our hard drive there? Let's verify it. File Explorer. Alright, this PC. We have our local disk C, volume E, with 890 gigabytes free of 931. We have our 2 terabytes, 1 terabytes, the fat and the skinny drive. One's just a dual hard drive RAID situation, and one's a skinny 1 terabyte. So now we have 1, 2, 3 terabytes of extra space, and then we have our toaster that we put stuff in for data recovery in that. So yeah, it is successful. I do have an HDMI cable routed over here I could plug in and show you this screen quick, but you're just gonna have to take my word on this one. Sorry people, that's just the way it is. We'll get you up out of there and switch over. I did not get to do the repair I wanted to do today. We will get that underway probably later or tomorrow. It's a good time for coffee or whatever your drink of choice is if you have it. As always, thanks for watching, hanging out here in After Hours, Open Hours, or the podcast. Whenever you choose to come hang out, I thank you. And go learn something, do something, create, make, fix, repair. Just do something. Learn something new. Why not? Can't hurt. Save another piece of electronics from going to the e-waste pile. Alright, camera's there. Time to suit up and go get my Princess. Everyone have a good evening, and can't wait for this to come back. We get to hopefully get this monitor running. Bought a power board for it. That is my diagnosis, what I think it is, although I could be wrong. We have some true headaches coming up, and then we have this guy here is the 7 that AutoCAD ran on. upgraded to 10, feature update from the upgrade version of 10 up to the newest version of 10, rolled back that version of Windows 10, but now the Windows 7 is gone that we could have went back to. So back up the data, wipe it, reload 7, restore the data, install AutoCAD, VM image, upgrade to 10, install VirtualBox, and get a virtual 7 with his AutoCAD 2002. A 17-year-old program? 17 years older now than Windows, well, not 17. 17 years old from now. And 10's been out, what, 2 years? So 15 years older than Windows 10? Yeah. It's going to be fun. Tune in tomorrow and see what we got going on for open hours. If you haven't checked out the Christmas episode of the podcast, check it out. And we have the last episode recorded before New Year's. Will be coming out this week. Check later on for that. Subscribe, like, comment. If you have questions, hit the email. Look in the description. There's info there. Thanks again for watching, people. Have a good evening.